Viewer discretion is advised.
That's why I will keep going and why I will not stop until there's full justice for what went down involving Kiely Rodni, Trinity Backus, and Dante De La Torre in towns whose backstories are horrific and involve the literal consumption of human flesh. I will not stop because they can't speak for themselves without fear of swift reprisal, living in small towns where everyone knows everyone and everyone's business, and where it feels like everyone's cut from the same wicked cloth.
Especially when they are taught very young to keep silent via threats involving bloodshed, where after years of conditioning, they will become like robots whirling into a customer's room.
And when Lindsay Neiman, while her daughter was still missing, threw her hands up on national television and said, "Okay, Kiely." Well, that's when I knew there was far more to this exceedingly sad story. One that Lindsay didn't want to go along with initially. Which meant to me that Kiely must have taken sides on an important thing. That her mother disagreed with or thought was an impossible dream, yet by Kiely going missing, she was now being thrust before us by Kiely's fray. "Okay, Kiely, ... Here I am on national television, just like you wanted, is how it came across to me. Like Kiely forced her there. Must have been pretty important to Kiely for Lindsay to have said it and felt that way, especially while she was still missing.
For 2 years now, we've tried to consider what that dream was. An impossible dream that Kiely wanted to see come true for the many other locked-in children in her community. Did we and 300 of her friends all witness the ultimate act of self-sacrifice? And if so, what did Kiely hope to achieve with her passing, literally as if she was everyone's child, following 2 weeks of non-stop national news coverage begging for all of us to find her?
What was this impossible dream that Kiely had that her mother disagreed with? Was it a dream involving the freedom of chained counterparts, following society's examination of the foundations of Kiely's upbringing, where we'd learned that they are raising a particular kind of crop in the forests around Tahoe? A crop ready for their potential upcoming involuntary participation in Lake Tahoe's sex trades? Was exposing this Kiely's lofty goal, and was she revered for it by her township who chanted "Long Live Kiely" for months after her passing? What was this impossible dream of hers? One that could become part of the national fabric and potent enough that we take actions that would override the entrapment methodology employed for over 150 years in Truckee's Masonic lodges, where the big secret is they don't worship God at all and never have.
Instead, most potentially surrender to their wicked tendencies and fall willingly into the arms of Satan, giving up all parental rights and giving away their own and their own child's best interests, which permits the majority in the community to all participate in the rampant abuse amongst their community's children, and in some landlocked mountain towns full of also true believers, perhaps consuming the very flesh and blood as if the norm. Places where you have to make a name for yourself as an inductee by sacrificing or inverting your firstborn children, potentially. Is this the type of shit that goes on every day in these devil's towns that Kiely, Trinity, and Dante wanted to try to prevent from happening over and over yet again?
The reason why we've come to believe some of this is really quite simple. It is the only thing that comes up when you carefully consider what would be horrific enough to cause 3 16-year-old children to all want to check out at once, all in the same season, and all from the same community. The only thing that comes up is satanic ritual abuse, which fosters lifelong familiarity with being handled by the grabbing hands of the sex trades. SRA, human trafficking, and abuse are the only possible things horrific enough for 3 kids to be so completely drained and wiped out, suffering from some memories. When it's worth dying for, even if you're a 10 out of 10 16-year-old beauty queen, that's when we know it isn't a small problem, and instead it is a huge problem, burning like a wildfire in some neighborhoods. When it's worth 3 teens all dying for, we can start to derive the simple truths from the most obvious of clues, and following careful examination and receipt of valuable corroborating facts from that community, we can reach places we never thought possible, even if only on YouTube. Shine our lights of hope for those other trapped kids to see. We've learned about a community who feasts upon the trappings of their youths, to the degree that 3 of them found it unbearable despite being beautiful, handsome, popular, gifted, and despite being only 16 years young with their whole lives ahead of them. We've stumbled upon a community where people often end up on the news having gone missing as a cover story for acts of a devilish and criminal nature, perhaps. If you can think of another thing that would be terrifying enough to cause 3 teens to want to bail out all at once, except to send us a message, please share in the comments.
It's what we do now that the word is actually out, that will decide other children's fates.
If Kiely Rodni's messages are all true, and I believe now that all of them truly are, can mankind do the right thing and band together towards an intervention or a rescue of these towns full of hundreds of minors and other entrapped souls? Souls secretly hoping against hope that mankind can and will? Souls whose 3 teen kindred counterparts all cried out to us at such a tender age.
Let's keep this talking going until we hear about courtrooms where juries can decide properly if they have all of or enough of the facts. And please, no more strange teen missing cases from the Truckee Tahoe or any other area. There are always better alternatives, and a new day dawns, bringing fresh hope that saner minds and justice will prevail. Give yourselves time and permission to get all of this out once and for all, and in the Truckee Three's names.